Donald Trump abruptly left the room during a press event after being asked whether he would appoint a special counsel to investigate the absent file and client list. As he walked out, he quickly said, "I have nothing to do with it." Here's watch the clip.
President Trump, would you consider appointing a special counsel to investigate the Jeffrey Epstein investigation?
I have nothing to do with it.
President Trump, would you consider appointing a special counsel to investigate the Jeffrey Epstein case? I have nothing to do with it. Wow, Trump sounds like a considerate rat. Really? Donald, you have got nothing to do with it. Then explain this, roll this clip. Oh, and by the way, you were one of the main prompters of everything absent. Even though, even though you were on one of the closest friend, Mar-a-Lago was literally used as hunting ground for absent to recruit girls for sex trafficking like Virginia Gaffney, and let's not forget what you said during your first campaign. Go ahead and roll this clip.
Bill Clinton. Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein.
Bill Clinton, nice guy, sure, but in many opinion, he's got some serious problem coming his way related to that infamous island with Jeffrey Epstein.
You raised the question of Jeffrey Epstein in your remarks about in the Q&A.
Well, I think he's got a problem. I mean,
what do you think the problem will be?
I don't know, but that island was really a.
You brought up Jeffrey Epstein during your question and answer. I think he's got a problem. You said, what kind of problem? What kind of problem? I do not know, but the island was a cesspool. No question. Just ask Prince Andrew. He will tell you total cesspool. And yet now you are out here claiming the absent list, the files, and the entire sex trafficking ring are Democrat involved invented hoax. That's what you are posting on social media, telling your supporters they are stupid if they believe it real. Instead, you are telling them to focus on nonsense like the so-called auto open scandal. Seriously? Seriously, you are outraged that former President Biden used a auto open. Every modern president uses one. It's standard. But this is what you are pushing, and Fox News is running with it like it's some bombshell. Have you ever seen them this desperate? Roll this clip.
If you care about the Constitution and the rule of law, Trump is right. The auto pen is way more serious than Jeffrey Epstein because you could have.
Well, if you really care about the Constitution and the rules of law, then according to Trump, the auto open scandal is somehow more serious than Jeffrey Epstein. Why? Because in this view, ads might have seized presidential power, signing off on decisions like pardon or prosecution without proper authority that he claims could amount to forgery or fraud. He even suggests the Justice Department is quietly investigating it but just would not admit it yet. And let's not forget Trump's earlier press conference, that one I covered, where he flat out called his own supporters stupid if they believe the absent sex trafficking ring was real. He said it's all a hoax. Just like Russia, 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 he said. He mocked Republicans who take it seriously, blaming Democrats for manufacturing the whole thing. Here's a clip. Watch for yourself.
Mr. President, I know you want to move past all this intrigue over the Epstein files, but I do want to ask you to clarify something you said this morning.
Reporters, Mr. President, I know you want to move past the controversy surrounding the absent file, but I did like to clarify something you said this morning. You called it all a hoax. Has your Attorney General confirmed that? What evidence are you basing this on? Trump. It's not from the Attorney General. I just know it's a hoax. It was started by the Democrats and pushed for 4 years. You had people like Christopher Wray and before him, Kame, bad actor. Look at the Staley dossier. It was fake, total hoax. Same with the 51 so-called intelligence official. All lies. It's been one hoax after another, pushed by Democrats and some foolish Republicans who fall into the trap and end up doing the Democrats' dirty works. The Democrats are useless when it comes to real policy. They are only good to creating hoax. And when it comes to picking candidates, they are disaster. Just look at New York. We have got a communist running. He might actually win, but if he does, he will ruin the city. And by the way, as the account this you pointed out, Trump used to retweet posts like this almost every day. And when Epstein died, here's show he responded. Trump retweeted a post saying documents were unsealed yesterday, revealing that top Democrats, including Bill Clinton, took private trips to Jeffrey Epstein Philadelphia Island. That's what you shared during your campaign. Died by suicide while and 24 by 7. Suicide watch. Yeah, right. How does that even happen? Epstein had dirt on Bill Clinton. Now he's died. I see. Hash Trump body counting trending, but we all know who really did this. RTF, if you are not surprised, also credit where it is due. That tip to the Miami Herald for some excellent reporting on all of this. Julie K. Brown has done a great job covering all this, and remember the surveillance footage. There was exactly 2 minutes and 53 seconds that were manipulated, spliced together in Adobe Premiere according to the forensic analysis by Wade. But there's the thing, the footage does not even appear to the form absent actual prison. It's look like they just showed some randomly facility. Why? Because the original surveillance footage from Epstein prison conventionally went missing and was destroyed while Trump was in office. So we cannot even confirm that the footage being shown in real. Now, even some of the Trump's own supporters are turning on him. People like Jessica Reed Cruz were handed the so-called Epstein Phase 1 benders back in February. Trump had promised, we are releasing the list. Right-wing influencer hyped it up, holding up those benders and promising more files, but that they got were old documents. Then Pam Bondi, the former Attorney General, claimed the absent list was on her desk and she was going to release it. That was month ago. Still nothing. She said that our reporting revealed Donald Trump hosted a Ghislaine Maxwell supporter at Mar-a-Lago and that the same person also visited the White House and held the infamous benders. Today, she responded to our reporter, says, guess I was 3 years ahead of the curve. Lol. Then she looked at Trump's recent post. Earlier today, Trump claimed that the access story is hoax, enabled by radical left Democrats. He added, stupid Republican. He called his supporter, stupid Republicans, brought this hook line and sinker. You are calling this bullshit. In response, she said, he is only making this disaster worse by the day. Then there's the clip from the press conference. Trump abruptly left after signing a big partition bill aimed at curbing fentanyl trafficking. It should have been a straightforward non-partisan movement, something everyone can support. But instead, Trump made point of saying this is not an auto pen, right? This is my real signature. Here's play the clip.
And this is not an auto pen, right? That's for sure. That's great. Thank you.
And this is not an auto pen, right? That's for sure. That's great. Thank you very much. Now let's take a look at the mega influencer are saying. They are furious and view Donald Trump as extremely weak, very weak. In fact, according to the latest UGV poll, Trump has net approval rating of minus 17. A majority of Americans also describe him as a very weak individual. That's the public statement right now. Tiffany Fong sarcastically writes, gaslight us harder, daddy. Even Calgary adds, Breaking Tom just called everyone demanding answers about Jeffrey Epstein list stupid and foolish. I am absolutely disgusted. I cannot support this any longer. I have been a loyal Trump supporter since 2016. I have lost job, friendship, been smeared online, dogs, and even had to press charges against people who stalked and harassed me, all because I stood by him. But if supporting Trump's mean ignoring the action file, then he clearly does not want my support. I am done. Goodbye. Really Gaines asks, was it stupid and foolish when Trump's campaign on releasing the files? Are Pam Bandy, Cash Patel, Dan Bongino, and Elena Heba foolish and stupid for pushing their narrative for the past 6 months? Why on the earth is he doing this? Then Tarisha Hope responds, he just calls supporters like me stupid? Like me stupid? People who have stood by him for 10 years through thick and thin, this is what he has to say. Well, maybe he is right because I feel pretty dumb for standing with him all those years. I would not be doing it again. Absent cover up. Then Audi Christian says, I stopped supporting him 2 years ago when I realized he was selling his endorsement. I was absolutely heartbroken and jaded. I still vote for him again because the alternatives were obvious. But I cannot stand behind him on this. It's just wrong. And you are right. We need to pay attention to who's simply to towing the line for him. This has become a unity party of self-interest, not a party for America. You do not get much more mega than Mike Flynn. He wrote, I hesitated to say this, but with the utmost respect and deference to you at the rate real Donald Trump for all you have endured. Few understand better than I do what the deep state is capable of when it decides to target someone. The Epstein affair is not just about whether he was killed or took his own life. Personally, I am glad this new pedophile is dead, but let's be clear, this is no hoax. The issue runs much deeper. Millions of Americans voted for you because we believe in your leadership and want to see you succeed. No one more than me. I still have a target on my back for standing up to this system. But beyond all that, our country is facing serious subversions. What the American people are asking for is simple, a modicum of trust to be restored between the federal government and those it serves. That trust thing in part on transparency around the Epstein case. He was not just an criminal, he was a convicted pedophile who like exploited children with the client list full of the world elite. It allegedly happened on his island, in his homes in New Mexico, and perhaps even more places. Victory needs to respond. I accept your term, Mr. President. You do not want my support. Then you would not have it. I am out. And America replies. A genuine question, why would Hallie create a hoax that implicates her own husband and closest friend? Then written is add, I will still acknowledge the action I agree with, but after that last post I can no longer support man himself. And wokeness says Trump keeps making the absent situation worse for himself every time he speaks or posts about it. I do not understand why. What to hear more reactions like that. Let's see what else we have got. I am exhausted. I am all for loyalty in the final week leading up to an election. At that point, there's no use making demands. The game is already in motion. You either win or lose, but once the election is over, that's when it's time to push. Cernovich says, Trump is not my boss. He's not General Patton. He was someone we fought hard to get election in 2016. Some of us even went to jail. Everyone sacrificed something. I have zero passion for the Johnny came let loose acting like they have done anything other than hope on the bandwagon. Madwash, a prominent mega supporter, says so apparently the issue is dumb, boring, and irrelevant. But at the same time, we need a special prosecutor to investigate it. The messaging on this has been absolutely terrible, completely incoherent, and all over the place. Tell me to stop talking about something is the fastest way to guarantee I will keep talking about it. Michael Flynn Jr. says, I cannot stand being gaslit. Chief Trumpster says, let me be crystal clear. I supported Trump from day one on. In 2016, I volunteered, knocked on doors, and after he won, I created the account to make pro-Trump videos and memes. A lot of original mega supporters want the absent file released. Why is that a bad thing? Viva Ferry says people lost friends over their support for Donald Trump. Some were cut off from family, others lost their jobs, and some even went to jail for standing by him. Now, imagine how those people feel hearing that if they keep talking about the absent story, a story Trump himself once brought up. He no longer wants their supporter. We have not crossed the event horizon yet, but the damage is building. This needs to be fixed immediately. Religion says it clearly. One more time, there is no middle ground when it comes to the sex trafficking of children. Elon Musk deny everything, admit nothing, make counterclaims, but this time it's not going to work. Solomon Bra says Americans are witnessing in real time that the handlers behind Epson hold influencer over the entire US government. Joey Monrino says, I am starting the thing Epson might not even be dead. DC Drano says today is the perfect day to start releasing the Epson file. It's time to rebuild trust in the DOJ. Donald Trump also made a bizarre post claiming, I have been speaking with Coca-Cola about bringing real cane sugar back to Coke in the US, and they have agreed. I want to thank everyone at Coca-Cola. This is going to be great move. You will see, it's just better. Support responded with sarcasm. Wow, cane sugar, amazing. Totally forget about the action files now. No one cares about Coca-Cola. What people want is the release of action file, and this is exactly why Trump is running. But he cannot hide, not even from his own base. As I have said before, if there's one person tied to Epson in nearly every part of the record, it's Donald Trump. His names appear in the flight logos, deposition transcripts, and the black book. He once called Epson a great guy who likes women and the younger side. Mar-a-Lago was even used as recruitment spot. Girls like Virginia Jeffrey were hired to work there and then funneled to Epson, where they were trafficked. All the evidence is out there, plain as day. That's why Trump keeps running from it. He is scared. He's now. This is his darkest secret.